Pick up a handful of soil, and it looks like a simple material. But that soil contains a chemical environment measured on a scale from 0 to 14, and where it sits on that scale determines almost everything about what will grow in it. Soil pH is not a minor adjustment that farmers fine-tune at the edges. It is a master variable that controls nutrient availability, microbial activity, and root function. Get it wrong and crops fail no matter how much fertilizer you apply. pH measures the concentration of hydrogen ions in soil water. In acidic soils, hydrogen ion concentration is high. In alkaline soils, it is low. The scale is logarithmic, so a pH of 5 is 10 times more acidic than a pH of 6, and 100 times more acidic than a pH of 7. For most agricultural crops, the optimal range is between 6 and 7. Within this range, essential nutrients including nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and sulphur are all soluble and available for plant uptake. Move outside this window in either direction and specific nutrients begin to lock up in chemical compounds the plant cannot access, even if those nutrients are physically present in the soil in large quantities. In highly acidic soils, typically below pH 5.5, aluminum and manganese become soluble at concentrations that are toxic to most crops. Phosphorus binds strongly to iron and aluminum compounds, making it chemically unavailable. Molybdenum, needed by legumes for nitrogen fixation, becomes severely deficient. Even if a farmer applies phosphorus fertilizer to an acidic soil, much of it immediately precipitates out of solution and becomes inaccessible to roots. In alkaline soils above pH 7.5, iron, manganese, zinc, copper, and boron all become less soluble. Plants developing on high pH soils often show the yellowing pattern called chlorosis, where leaves turn pale between the veins while the veins themselves remain green. This is characteristic iron deficiency. The iron is physically in the soil, but the chemistry of the root zone has locked it into forms the plant cannot absorb. Calcium and magnesium availability also shift. Acidic soils often lack calcium because it has leached away over time. Adding calcium as lime is both a pH correction and a nutritional fix simultaneously, which is one reason liming is the most common soil management practice in wet climates. Below the visible crop, soil pH shapes an entire biological world. Most beneficial soil bacteria operate most efficiently near neutral pH, the bacteria that convert ammonium to nitrate. A process called nitrification, slow dramatically in acidic conditions. This means nitrogen applied as fertilizer or released from decomposing organic matter is not converted into the form plants prefer, and can be lost through leaching or volatilization instead. Legumes fix atmospheric nitrogen through a symbiotic relationship with rhizobium bacteria in root nodules. These bacteria are particularly sensitive to low pH. Soybeans grown in soils below pH 6 often show nitrogen deficiency despite having abundant atmospheric nitrogen available, because the rhizobium bacteria cannot colonize roots effectively in acidic conditions. Liming a field before planting legumes is therefore not just about chemistry. It is about creating the biological conditions for nitrogen fixation to work. Farmers adjust soil pH with two main materials. To raise pH in acid soils, they apply agricultural lime, which is ground calcium carbonate. The rate required depends on the soil's buffering capacity, which is its resistance to pH change. Clay soils and those high in organic matter have high buffer capacity and require much larger lime applications than sandy soils to achieve the same pH shift. A soil test not only measures current pH, but estimates the buffer capacity, allowing a calculation of exactly how much lime is needed. To lower pH in alkaline soils, elemental sulfur is the most common amendment. Soil bacteria oxidize sulfur over weeks to months, releasing sulfuric acid that acidifies the surrounding soil. The process is slower than liming and requires warm, moist conditions for the bacteria to work. In arid western soils where alkalinity comes from calcium carbonate parent material, lowering pH is an ongoing management challenge that requires repeated applications. Precision agriculture has brought pH management to the field scale. Grid soil sampling across a paddock or field reveals zones of variable pH that were previously averaged out by bulk sampling. Variable rate lime application, guided by GPS, applies different rates across different zones in the same pass, correcting the patchwork of pH variation that results from years of cropping, differential leaching, and uneven past inputs. Soil pH is ultimately a proxy for a farm's productive potential. An acidic soil is a biological system under chemical stress, where nutrients are locked away and the microbial workforce operates below capacity. A well-buffered neutral soil is the opposite, a system where chemistry, biology, and crop demand are all aligned. Every dollar spent on soil pH management is potentially worth several in reduced fertilizer costs, improved crop performance, and avoided yield losses. It is one of the oldest insights in agriculture and still one of the most powerful.